So I decided to quit it, and when I quit it, oh my god, the side effects were horrible. I had these muscle kind of twitches all over my body,
Mm.
and I couldn't concentrate. Horrible anxiety, um, and yeah, obviously erection issues. I was just losing my mind every day. I was just thinking maybe it's just side effects which will pass as the drugs leaves my system, but they didn't get better. And this is in 2012, and I've seen side effects much worse than what I have or what I have witnessed. People are not able to function. They are not able to leave their house. They are in horrible depression, and and you know it better than me. Um, uh, a lot of people have committed suicide because of this horrible drug.
Hello and welcome to the Moral Medicine channel. Today, I am very pleased to welcome Mike to the audience. He's going to be talking about his experience with post-finasteride syndrome. Welcome to the channel, Mike.
Yeah, thanks so much, Eric. So yeah, post-Finance, the
Right.
syndrome itself, yeah,
Yeah.
it's a
Thank you
challenge.
for talking. Yeah, it certainly is.
Yes.
Thank you very much for coming on. So, could you maybe start, Mike, by just telling me briefly when did you decide to take finasteride and why?
Hmm. Yeah. So I had like hereditary hair loss, right? So
Right.
so it was in the family, and I was losing my hair early on. In my teens, I started noticing a little bit of hair loss, and so I kind of ignored it and tried to just try to correct it by diet and exercise and stuff like that, but it does not work, right? So, um, and later on, like in my college days, I was losing chunks of hair, so that's why I decided to go on finasteride, Propecia, as they know,
Mhm.
and initially I knew about the side effects because I had read a lot of horror stories on Google on the internet, and I was a little skeptical, to be honest, um, taking that drug. But I went to the doctor, and he pretty much prescribed it, and he said like only 2% or 1% people have those side effects. So he kind of encouraged me to take it, and yeah, initially when I took it for 1 week, I had libido issues. I had watery semen, um, and for that 1 week, I was working at that point of time. I had finished college. I was working, so after 1 week, I noticed, a little bit of limp dick, as they say. The erection was not there. They were not that strong as they were before, and I had watery semen. I was having a little bit of issue, even masturbating. So, so I decided to stop it, and then I went to the other route, which is the saw palmetto route, right? I went back to the doctor. I told him that this is not working, and I think you should give me something else. And he gave me some saw palmetto and minoxidil, and that didn't work that well. Uh, I didn't have any side effects like the people say that sulfamidol can give you kind of a PFS syndrome kind of a thing, but I didn't have any side effects on that. But that didn't work as well as finasteride was working. So that was completely my decision to hop back on it, and for around um 2 3 weeks, I had those horrible side effects where I couldn't sleep. I had horrible anxiety. I had that brain fog. Um, I had all the side effects, you know, that are associated with PFS. And yeah, I mean, I read about it that the issue subsides. Initially after you take it for like a month or two, and then the side effect subsides. Yeah, it did subside a little bit, and I got used to the medication, but I gained a lot of weight while I was on finasteride. I had like horrible dark circles under my eyes, and I was looking much older. At that point in time, I was 24, 24, 25, and I was looking like probably I was like you know, probably 40, you know, and so that didn't kind of work for me, and then not the kind of look I was going for, and the side effects started when I decided to quit it. When I decided I took it for 1 year, and after 1 year, I was like done with this because I just it was I mean the hair I mean it was not working as good as it did early on, and the effects were kind of fading off as it is, and I was not also getting those gains in my hair, and also not a good look for me, to be honest. Uh, so I decided to quit it, and when I quit it, oh my god, the side effects were horrible. I had these muscle kind of twitches all over my body,
Mm.
and I couldn't concentrate. Horrible anxiety, um, and yeah, obviously erection issues. I was just losing my mind every day. I was just thinking maybe it's just side effects which will pass as the drugs leaves my system, but they didn't get better. And this is in 2012. So it took around 1 or 2 years of really concentrating on my diet, exercise, and stuff like that to get back to somewhat of a okay, functional state. And yeah, and since then, I mean, I'm just trying to be 100%, and it just does not work. People say this works, that works, but nothing works actually. It's just a condition which is permanent as of right now, and a lot of people are suffering from this. And I still see, on the forums, on the Reddit forums, a lot of people, um, young people, young folks in their teens, they are prescribed this horrible, horrible medicine, and then they go through these side effects, and they don't know what to do. They're basically their whole life is spoiled, and I've seen side effects much worse than what I have or what I have witnessed. People are not able to function. They are not able to leave their house. They are in horrible depression, and you know it better than me. Um, uh, a lot of people have committed suicide because of this horrible drug, and it's still on the market, and people are still being prescribed this medicine, which is just so irresponsible, and and also for the doctors who are prescribing this medicine to teens, and this is just ruining their sex life, their mind, and everything. And this is just a horrible condition. And I know that I connected with you through the PFS network, and people there are so supportive, and they always come up with they're also donating because of what we are onto, and why we want to fund this research, and why we want to see the right. So yeah, so that's pretty much my story, man.
Yeah, thank you so much for sharing that, Mike. I know it's not necessarily easy to talk about these issues. And yeah, I'm sorry that you're in this suffering. I just wanted to check with you, you know, how long have you been suffering from post-finasteride syndrome for?
And it's been like what, 2012, 2013
Mm.
spring I left. I've been the last pill that I took was
Right.
2013 spring, and then it's been like 10 years now.
So yeah, it's been a decade that you've been suffering
Yeah.
from this.
Yeah.
Right. And can you talk to me about so you said that things got much worse for you after you stopped the drug back in 2013.
True. True.
So can you walk me through that a little bit, Mike? What did you develop new symptoms? Did the symptoms that you suffer from while you were on the drug get worse?
Yeah.
Please tell me what happened when you stopped taking the drug.
So, while I was on that drug
Hmm.
for that 1 year, I always had that, suspicion that I'm gonna get PFS, and that kind of played on my mind also. But I wanted to just leave the drug for a couple of days to just check where I am at that point in time, and things would get better in terms of libido. It would improve for like a couple of days. So I thought, no, it's not a big deal. I'm fine. I don't have PFS, nothing like that. I'm okay. And as soon as I stop this drug, the side effects will go away. But the side effects were so horrible, so debilitating. It's like the more you're on that drug, for the longer duration of the time, if you're on that drug for like 1 year, I was on that drug, it's kind of, it manifests. It almost manifests itself, the drug itself in you. And the longer you take it, the worse the sides are. And but that's only in my case, because I've seen
Mm-hmm.
people where they just took one pill and they're destroyed,
Mm-hmm.
you know. But that wasn't the case for me, because I took that drug for 1 week and I left that drug. I was sort of okay, but then I decided to hop back on it, and for 1 year I was on that drug. Uh, that's when the most of the damage was done, and uh, the the most debilitating side effect was the anxiety. It's just so horrible. You cannot concentrate on anything. You are like, you know, you get dumb overnight.
Mm-hmm.
Your intelligence goes for a toss.
Mm-hmm.
You start doubting yourself, because
Mm-hmm.
uh, I was in that situation where I was just initially, started working, and I was
Mm-hmm.
amongst my peers, and I sort of thought that was dumb. you
Mm-hmm.
know it was such a shock for me, because I had been an intelligent man. I did my engineering. I'm an engineer, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So I always pride myself on my intelligence, but
Mm-hmm.
that's the one thing that I miss the most.
Mm-hmm.
My mind, it's not the same. It's not My mind is not the same.
Mm-hmm.
And uh, the rest of the side effects, they can be dealt with. But once you're out there, once you're out there and you only have this to make money with, you have only this to survive with,
Mm-hmm.
and this is the thing that has been taken away from you. you know
Mm-hmm.
your mental peace, your intelligence, everything just goes for a toss, and it's the worst thing ever. I mean, I don't wish this upon my worst enemy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, totally do.
Yeah, yeah. So when you refer to your cognitive ability, are you talking about
Yeah.
focus, memory,
Yes.
just
Yes. Yes.
general intellect? Yeah, yeah,
Yes. Absolutely. The
yeah. Brain
memory.
fog. Yeah,
Yeah. People
yeah.
think like you're dumb.
Mm-hmm.
They tell you something and you forget,
Mm-hmm.
and and
Right.
and you're not able to explain them what's happening to
Mm.
you, because no
Right.
one will believe you.
Right.
Yeah. That's the worst part of it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
So you've been off the drug for 10 years now and you're still dealing
Yeah.
with these debilitating side effects. I mean, roughly how many different symptoms do you have at this point in total?
I think I have all the symptoms that are there. My there's a pre-finasteride state, and then the post-finasteride. So that's why it's
Mhm.
called a post-finasteride
Right.
syndrome, right? So I'm trying to get back to that pre-finasteride state, which does not happen for most of us, unfortunately.
Right.
And the all the side effects that are there, the cognitive decline,
Hmm.
the anhedonia,
Hmm.
um, and your erection, obviously, that's a
Hmm.
big one. That somehow can be managed through drugs and something. I mean, it's not that bad for me, if
So
because I've seen a lot.
what are
Yeah,
all like if you had to just list all your
yeah,
symptoms,
yeah,
what
yeah.
would that list be? Yeah,
Basically,
all the symptoms.
anxiety,
Mhm.
depression, anhedonia, not able to relate to anybody. Like, I used to love my family.
Mhm.
I had that bond with my family, with
Mhm.
my mom, with my dad. Now I don't feel anything for anybody.
Mhm.
Yeah, it's just a blank state. It's like the
Mhm.
lights are on, nobody's at home, right? That kind of feeling.
Mhm.
And yeah, the sexual side effects, man. And
Mhm.
the blurred vision,
Mhm.
right? The
Mhm.
blurred vision is there. The focus is not there. The
Mhm.
concentration is not there. It's just a very bad state of mind, I guess,
Mhm.
to be
Mhm.
in. Yeah,
Mhm. Yeah,
yeah,
yeah. This sounds awful
yeah.
and very relatable. I want to
But
ask.
I understand, Eric, because there have been people who are suffering right now and
Mhm.
who've been new to this syndrome, and for
Mhm.
them, it's pretty devastating.
Mhm.
It's been 10 years for me, so you can understand that I've kind of gotten used to this
Mhm.
state of existence and,
Mhm.
functioning in that state.
Mhm.
But for a lot of people who are suffering, who are new sufferers, for them, it's devastating,
Mhm.
and
Yeah.
they don't know what to do. They are seeking answers, and they don't have any answers.
Mhm.
Nobody's giving them anything, and they
Right.
don't want to believe. No doctors want to believe that you
Mhm.
have this stuff. Well, back in 2013, if I would have gone to a doctor, nobody would have believed me because it
Mhm.
was not even documented, well
Mhm.
documented back then. Now still people believe it because it's those, people like you who are
Mhm.
coming onto,
Mhm.
internet, and
Mhm.
I know your story because you donated your part of your
Mhm.
scrotum and
Mhm.
for the study, and it's just, hats off to you, man. Like,
Mhm.
you're doing this, you're carrying the flag for us. Thanks so much for that.
Well, thank you so much for your bravery to, speak out about this condition and for persevering for a decade. It's certainly not
Yeah,
easy.
yeah,
So, yeah, hopefully we can raise awareness and your struggle with this can be, vindicated.
yeah.
Um, I wanted to ask you, Mike, do you feel like you had enough warning and information from
Mm.
clinicians about the possible consequences of taking this drug to be able to provide informed consent about the risk?
Uh, to be honest, I just did my Googling,
Mm,
before taking this drug.
mm,
And I kind of know the horror stories.
mm.
And I just trusted my doctor.
Right,
I did not go with the Google,
right.
because he said only 1 or 2% is going to have the side effects. And I had the side effects pretty much bang
Mm,
on when I started this drug. So I would say I was not well informed.
mm,
And the doctor was reckless to
right,
have prescribed me at the age of 23 when I was at
right,
my prime.
right.
Right.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm just wondering when the clinician referred to roughly 2% get side effects, I'm
Yeah.
assuming that he was referring to temporary side effects that would go away.
Yeah, that's
Right.
right. That's the
Okay.
other thing as well. Yeah, he
Yeah.
said that, when I went back to him, you know,
Mm,
he said, "Oh," I said, "I'm having these side effects, and should I continue with this drug or not?" He said, "Oh, if you're having side effects, I think you should get off the drug, but these are just temporary, and they resolve, themselves after you
mm,
discontinue the drug." So yeah, that was there. There was no indication that it's going to be permanent.
mm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So, finally, Mike, I want to ask you, can you describe the impact that PFS has had on your life over the
Oh man,
last 10 years of dealing
it's
with
it's
this?
it's destroyed my dreams, man. I had so many dreams. I wanted to be somebody, and I just was reduced to this run-of-the-mill guy, you know. Um, and I just, I just sometimes I can't cope up with that
Right.
because when I
Yeah.
remember my state, what kind of a state I was, how happy I was, how
Mm,
functional I was, how much of a difference I could have made,
mm,
in terms of making relationship,
mm,
in terms of just being a very functional member of the society,
mm,
which I'm not. I'm just, kind of, I don't want to go out. I just don't want to do anything right now. And it's been like that for 10 years. I just want to sit back at home. I don't want to talk to anybody. And I just want, and fortunately for me, I have been able to, continue with my job for 10 years, somehow survived, not thrive at all,
mm, mm,
because that's the most thing that plays on your mind, because you think, I thought that I was very good at my job, at what I did, but after finasteride, that's just taken away from me, man. And it's just a very reduced way of living, which I've kind of gotten used to.
right. Yeah. It's devastating and
Yeah,
it's hard to imagine
yeah,
existing in
totally,
that
man.
state. Yeah. Yeah.
And for the new guys, I would just say that, whoever is, they're thinking about taking this drug, please do not take this drug. This is going to change your life forever. I'm not saying that this is for everybody, but the people who this hits,
Mm,
is going to hit bad,
mm,
and and this is going to take everything away from you, right? Maybe even your life. So just please be careful with this. And I don't know how this is still in the market. This blows my mind. And people still say, oh, this is a safe drug, you can take it, and there's nothing is going to happen to you, and this and that. And I've seen many top doctors promoting this, which is so absurd,
mm,
which is so absurd. Like they don't have, because there's, you know sometimes like people themselves, they're not taking this drug and they're prescribing them to the other people, why don't you take that drug first and you observe what's happening to your body, and why don't you then prescribe it to somebody else? They're just prescribing it just off the cuff, man, and it's so sad, so sad, because there was this guy in India, where I am right now. He reached out to me and he got PFS right now. Like he left the drug and he got all the side effects, and he was so freaked out, and I had to just talk to him, and just calm him down, because he just wanted to. He was just devastated, and it could have done some harm to him if I wouldn't have talked him out of it.
Mm.
So yeah, I would say please be very, very careful with this drug, because this can really change your life in ways that you cannot even imagine.
Yeah, very well said. And thank you so much for sharing your story with us today,
Thanks
Mike.
so much, Eric.
Appreciate it.
Yeah,
Thank
thanks.
you
Take
so
care.
much.